Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, the three women who might change the mix in Congress, especially for Israel. Come January, pro-Israel groups in Washington will need to contend with three members of Congress who have aired harsh views on Israel. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, standard-bearer of the new young Democratic left, who called the killing of Palestinians on the Israel-Gaza border in May a massacre. Ilhan Omar, Somali refugee on the cusp of representing Minneapolis in Congress, who referred to the, quote, apartheid Israeli regime in a 2012 tweet. Rashida Tlaib, set to be the first Palestinian-American with a seat on Capitol Hill, who came out in favor of a one-state solution that could nullify a Jewish state.
What we see is a test of boundaries. Activists in the Democratic Party want to delve away from what was once a consensus in the party, and they're testing the waters.
In recent weeks, Ocasio-Cortez and Omar have moderated their comments. Ocasio-Cortez saying she needs to, quote, learn and evolve on the conflict.
Of course, the fact that people do feel the need to correct some of their statements does suggest that there are still powers within the Democratic Party who can convince these candidates not to become too radical in their views of Israel.
Ocasio-Cortez, Omar, and Tlaib will be only 3 out of 535 members of the House and Senate, but they represent deeper trends in U.S. politics, as support for Israel has declined among Democrats, especially, says a leading Israeli expert, since 2016.
Israel is associated with Trump, so Israel is not seen favorably as it was in the past.
The U.S. pro-Israel establishment is worried about the trend lines.
Sympathy for Israel has fallen. Sympathy for the Palestinians has risen among Democrats. There are now very little difference between those two. This is unprecedented.
The next Congress will remain a stalwart in support of Israel, whose vote margins send messages heard loud and clear in world capitals near and far. The longer-term trends may point to a more complicated future. Owen Alterman, I-24 News.